Good morning and welcome to our midweek edition of GMNC. I am Prathisha Singh and I'll be your anchor for this morning's show. First on our lineup, we have the usual weather and surf report from Heili and Deon, followed by the wise and wonderful Claudia Greenwood with our daily inspiration. Next on the seat, we have a familiar face, Neville from Ndlondlo Reptile Park, debunking all things snake myths. Steve from Hydrapower joins us to chat all things hydraulics and power. We will be bringing you a pre-recorded video from Sugar Rats. It will be Mike Mason. And then we'll end off with a pretty one, Ruby from Blohm. Stay tuned for that. Grab your coffee, sit tight, and enjoy the awesome show with us. Thank you to Performance Coffee, authorized dealer of Dura coffee machines and Salt Truck Coffee, for being our morning coffee sponsors. Stay tuned. Here is your weather and surf report, and I'll be right here waiting for you.
Good morning everyone and welcome to your weather for today, brought to you by Ballito Gas and Bright. Today will be humid with periods of sun and clouds with a high of 30 degrees and a low of 21 degrees. The real fuel will be 35 degrees and the real fuel shade 31 degrees. We have a northeasterly wind at 19 kilometers per hour and wind gusts at 54 kilometers per hour. Also just 13% chance of showers today. The sunrise will be at 5:47 a.m. and the sunset at 6:28 p.m. Pretoria gedeeltelik bewolk vandag with a high of 29 degrees and a low of 17 degrees. And then Joburg, a thunderstorm in spots in the morning, otherwise clouds and sun with a high of 26 degrees and a low of 15 degrees. And then Cape Town, periods of clouds and sun with a couple of showers, mainly early on, with a high of 22 degrees and a low of 17 degrees. Next up will be your surf report, brought to you by 10 Skryfbehoeftes and Leon Bosman from Victory Surf.
Good morning, Ballito, and welcome to Wednesday morning's beach report. And a beautiful day to be on the beaches in Ballito today. Light northeasterly breezes this morning, but we'll pick up to 20 to 25 knots this afternoon. And the ocean is settling down a little bit. It's not as big as it was the last few days and over the weekend. So a little bit safer to swim. Watch out for blue bottles coming in today. There's quite a big easterly and definitely blue bottle action on the beaches on the higher tides. There are lots of currents around also on the high tide, so please be careful of that. But a beautiful 27, 28 degree day with a bit of wind this afternoon. Enjoy your beach day. It's going to be lovely.
Welcome back to GMNC this morning. In studio with me is the lovely Claudia Greenwood. Hi Claudia, how are you?
Good, and you, Prathisha?
Good, thanks. It's been a while since we saw each other.
It has. It's wonderful to see you again.
You too. And we're chatting all things I can this morning.
Absolutely, all about I can. The reason why, you know, Prathisha, wouldn't we all like to be happy all the time?
Of course.
I mean, everybody I speak to says, I just want to be happy. I just want to be peaceful. I just want life to be good.
And easy.
And is that really realistic? I mean, let's face it, it isn't. Because in life we have the opposite, right? You can't understand light if you haven't seen the dark. You can't understand what it means to be happy if you haven't had some sadness. And that's how life is. So we need to have a look at what we can do to switch things, because things don't always work out the way we anticipate.
No.
I mean, obviously, whatever we do, we have an idea of what the outcome, what we want.
How we'd like it to be. Yeah.
How we'd like it to be, and we hold on to that. So then when it doesn't turn out that way, we get disappointed. And it could be anything from a friendship. Maybe it's to be included in something or gets certain attention from somebody. Maybe it's we thought we were going to have a sponsor helping us out with some nice project that we're doing, and that doesn't come through. Or maybe we wanted to have, you're at school or a student or something, and you want to have good grades, or you submit some amazing assignment, you put a lot of effort into it, and the results just aren't there. Or somebody disappoints you and lets you down. And then when we have those situations happening, what is the first thing we tend to do? What do we do within ourselves? What's your experience, Prathisha?
We worry, we get overwhelmed,
Yeah,
we get frustrated.
Yes, and we start talking to ourselves internally. We start saying to ourselves, maybe I'm not as good a person as my friends, want me to be. Maybe my project wasn't good enough. Maybe they like somebody else more than me. And we start saying to ourselves, I'm not good enough, I'm a failure, I've got bad luck.
I can't do this.
I can't do this, absolutely. And so that narrative goes. And what are we doing? If you picture a door and it's closed, every time we have those negative thoughts, it's like turning that lock once again and locking it again. So now we want to walk through the door, because on the other side of that door is an amazing, happy life, the life we want. But we're locking that door by having these thoughts that are limiting us. We try and walk through a closed door, Prathisha, what's going to happen?
You slam your head right on it.
Very hard.
Exactly.
Okay,
and that's what it feels like when you're stuck in those negative patterns, right?
Exactly.
That's exactly what it feels like.
So you could feel physical pain when you knock your head on there, but then it starts becoming emotional pain, and it drains you. It's tiring. You can't keep on knocking your head against the door and expecting yourself, hopefully, to eventually get through there. You're going to be very scarred. So the key to opening that door and unlocking it is, I call it the key of I can. Have an I can attitude. So naturally, we will have those thoughts coming up. Oh, I'm a failure, or I'm not wanted, or I can't do this, or I'm scared. Well, every time you have that thought, catch yourself and then say, I can, and fill in the dots. Okay, so if I'm a failure because this didn't work out, say to yourself, I can do better. I can try harder. I can do something different. If it's, I don't know, some relationship, somebody's let you down, or they haven't responded to you or given you the attention you wanted or included you, say, but I am good enough. I can be a good friend. I can ask them, to do something together. Or I can have that conversation. I can let them know that I'm not happy, or find out what's going on. The key is I can. And the I can key is the one that unlocks that door.
It's because it opens you up to possibilities, right?
For sure.
Whereas when you're overwhelmed and frustrated and tired, you're closed off.
Yes. So if you can imagine you sitting in a building somewhere, and the ocean is on the other side, and there's this door and it's locked. And you keep on wanting to get out and see that beautiful ocean and see what's out there and have the freedom you want and go and do those things. But that door's locked. When you start telling yourself, I can do this, you start putting hope into yourself and lifting yourself up. Because that I can energy is light. And suddenly you start seeing that there are possibilities. And eventually you can unlock that door, open the door, and you can see that there is possibility on the other side. This is when you can go through the door. Obviously, the next stage would be, okay, now you've got to do something.
Yes.
But you can't do something without believing that you can.
Definitely.
So pick up your I can key and unlock that door, because that's where we're going to start seeing change in our lives.
And then you'll start seeing the next steps and the next steps,
Of course.
But you're right, if before that you're stuck, you're overwhelmed, and you're frustrated, and you're disappointed, and all of those things, like
Yes.
you said. Yeah.
Prathisha, that energy of when you are overwhelmed, and you feel...
Personally, for me, the energy of overwhelm is the worst.
Oh, it is dreadful.
It's just, I feel really stuck if I'm overwhelmed.
Yes, that's exactly what it does. So when you feel stuck, it's heavy. It's like, how do I get out of this? When you start saying to yourself, okay, I can do this. I'm juggling all these things. Maybe you've had a late night or a rough night with kids. I don't know, sometimes
I can relate.
You can relate. I can relate from, past experiences
Yes,
as
those
well.
memories never leave you. Hey?
And when you wake up in the morning, how do you feel? It's like, oh my goodness, But if you tell yourself, I'm tired, I can't do this, I've got all these things to juggle, that's that overwhelm and that key that you actually are locking yourself in. Rather say to yourself, acknowledge it because it's real. Yes, I am tired, but I can get myself up. I can do these things. I can take one thing at a time. I can smile, actually.
Exactly.
I mean, just a smile changes a person's energy automatically. And suddenly you feel, actually, this isn't so bad. And that door opens and you can go through and see that beautiful horizon and whatever it is that you want to achieve. We need to uplift ourselves. And that's where it starts. It's that, that deep inner work.
Well, Claudia, if you don't uplift yourself, unfortunately, nobody else will.
Exactly.
There's nobody coming to pick up the pieces.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could say, somebody, rescue me? It's not going to happen.
No one's coming to rescue you.
Nobody's coming to rescue you. But we know that it's not always that easy. But one little step at a time, turn one little key at a time, one I can at a time is going to get you there.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us. I love that one.
Thank you.
And it's easy to apply, and I mean, you can start applying it today.
Yes, immediately.
So
with the
thank
very
you.
next thought that you
Yes.
have that knocks you down.
Thank
I
you very
can.
much, Claudia. That was as inspiring as ever, and it was great to see you again.
Thanks, Prathisha, likewise.
Stay tuned. Next up, we'll be chatting to Neville, and we're going to be debunking snake myths. Welcome back to GMNC this morning. I hope you're having a fabulous morning with us. In studio is Neville from Ndlondlo Reptile Park, chatting all things snakes. Morning, Neville. How are you?
Good morning. Very well, and yourself?
Good. Welcome back.
Yeah, good to be back.
So we're chatting all things myths this morning. Can you tell us a bit about snake myths, snake bite myths? What are they?
Well, yeah, first of all, myths, as I had said previously, is just a belief that is formed with bad research, really,
Old wives'
as a
tales.
result of bad research or no research. And myths in themselves aren't particularly dangerous. It's misinformation, but it's not particularly dangerous, except when we come onto the subject of snake bites. Then myths can prove fatal,
Yeah.
or could result in all manner of stuff. So I just wanted to chat about that today. And there's a couple of really popular African myths. And when I say African, guys, don't think I'm racist at all. This is born out of the soul of Africa. Okay,
Stories from the land.
we're speaking of people that basically had such an inherent fear that nothing was researched. You were too scared to touch, too scared to get close, and so on. And there's a number of myths that float around, and they vary from area to area. One of the myths is that if you get bitten by a snake, you've got to beat the snake to the water, and you've got to drink water before the snake does.
Oh,
And if you
so
can
you're
do
having
that,
a race for the snake.
if you're going to do
Oh,
that,
my
you're
word.
going to be 100%. There's no problem, you know. And yeah, in other cultures, they say if you do that and you challenge that, then the snake will bring out the worst in its venom. And so you should rather avoid water and just go and see your local Sangoma, and he will get you sorted out.
Okay.
On the more western side, there's a number of people that believe that the whole secret to snake bite solutions is carrying a little snake bite kit with you.
Okay.
Okay, and that
And what's in this kit?
well, it's supposed to have a little blade that you can cut the wound open with, and you can suck out, and a suction mechanism that you can suck the venom out.
Oh my word.
And the older myths go back and they use Condy's crystals. You wrap Condy's crystals into the wound, and that will help to nullify the venom. And then you've obviously got your 2 ampules of anti-venom, which you would then inject into yourself, and you should be good.
Gosh.
But anti-venom in itself is a really dangerous substance. A huge chunk of our general population shows some sort of reaction to anti-venom.
Okay.
And you could actually be giving yourself something that you might be highly allergic to.
Oh my goodness.
And if
yeah.
you're not in a situation where you are in emergency rooms, this could prove fatal.
So these myths, Neville, are actually more fatal, I would think, than, or almost as fatal as a snake bite.
As a snake bite, absolutely.
Because you're busy cutting yourself, you're injecting yourself with stuff. I mean, it's crazy.
Absolutely.
Or you're racing a snake. I think that's my favorite one. Let's have a race with a snake. Oh my word. It's preposterous.
It is, it is. Just to get down to anti-venom, it's got to be administered intravenously. There's a whole number of concoctions that goes with it in the drip, and so on. So please, folks, if you've got access to anti-venom, rather take it with you to an ER.
And get it administered properly. Yeah, by a professional.
And by professionals. And yeah, don't go cutting snake bites or cutting yourself, and don't go squeezing and doing all sorts of silly stuff that you believe. If you want to test the sucking out of venom, please just take a tablespoon of water, walk onto a concrete floor, pour it out on the concrete floor, and see how much of that water you can suck out of the concrete.
Ugh, exactly.
You're not sucking any snake venom out of a wound.
And please
Certainly
don't cut
not.
yourself. That's just, you can cut a vein, cut an artery.
Cut off a nerve,
Exactly.
cut off
That
a
could cause
tendon.
permanent damage.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then there's a number of other myths that go along with snake bite as well. Venom in the eyes. The myth that you've got to wash it out with milk.
I've heard that one.
And the tribal people believe that you've got to use a breastfeeding woman's milk.
Okay.
All right? And
Breast milk is extremely powerful, but I don't think it has that power.
no. The thing with milk is that it curdles when it comes into contact with protein, and venom consists of protein.
Yes.
And so it curdles behind the eyelids. It doesn't do what it's supposed to do in dilute the venom and transport it out of the eye. It curdles and it gets stuck behind the eyelids.
Oh gosh.
And it causes tremendous complications. If you're unaware of it being stuck there, you could end up with terrible bacterial infections, and the venom still doing actually what it's supposed to do.
Crazy. So yeah, that's the dangers of myths with snake bites, hey?
And snake in the eye, venom in the eyes.
It's crazy, guys. Tell us what to do. Tell us, how do we contact you guys, or what should we do if we get a snake bite?
Well, a snake bite, you should just refer to the trialed and tested and researched procedures. Get yourself to an ER, emergency rooms, and let them deal with it. Venom in the eyes, you can rinse with pure water.
Okay.
Remember, the eye is a sensitive organ, and you want to treat it as sensitively as possible, so as sterile as possible.
So wash your hands and be a bit clean before you do it, right?
Well, I'm not worried about your hands and so on. I'm talking about the quality of the water that goes into the eye. You know?
Okay, so clean water.
Clean water. Obviously, if you don't have access to clean water, then dirty water will just have to suffice.
Okay.
You know. But if you've got the options, you go for the clean water, for goodness sakes. You know. And that rinses the venom out of the eye. And then by all means go see your doctor.
It all sounds very logical, but I think a big part of it is also the panic that comes in play. When somebody gets bitten by a snake, I mean, everybody panics.
They do.
So that could be maybe a justification for some of the craziness, hey?
Yes, it is. It is.
It is, yeah?
There's a large portion of distrust as well.
Okay.
So you see, particularly with the rural people, there's a distrust of Western medicine, and they tend to fall back on old beliefs, the belief systems.
Yeah.
And so the first person who suggests a sangoma, a healer, a witchcraft, whatever you want to call it,
Traditional healers, yeah.
traditional healers, and some of them obviously have some form of application, and but some of them really
Don't.
no.
Yeah, the best bet, I would go with the ER. So thank you for sharing that with us, and can you tell us a bit about what's happening at the park?
Well, we're pretty excited in that the cages that we started constructing during COVID are now finally getting to their completion.
Oh, wow.
And we should be putting snakes in there by the end of next week. And they are going to look absolutely stunning.
What type of beauties are we putting in there?
Oh, all manner of stuff. It's basically we phasing out the older cages that we've got that were, if I could be excused for saying this, boermakerplan cages. They were functional, they were good. They were not the best aesthetically pleasing cages.
Okay.
The cages that we've constructed now are really looking good. They're looking nice. And they're going to offer a whole new aspect to the system that we have there and what we're applying. And with that, flooring will change and everything. But otherwise, business as usual, parties going on, snake talks going on. We've just completed the filming, so I can take a breath and relax a little bit.
Nice, nice. That's always good.
All the rescues up, still going on. And yeah, business as usual.
Well, that's awesome, and thank you for sharing with us this morning. It was very, very interesting. A bit crazy, but very interesting.
Super.
Thank you. We'll see you
Great
next
stuff.
week then.
Absolutely.
So stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you got the message. Please go to an ER if you get bitten by a snake. Stay tuned. Next up, we'll be chatting to Steve from Hydrapower, all things hydraulics and power. Welcome back to GMNC. I hope you're enjoying the show this morning. We've got Steve from Hydrapower with me in studio. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, are you well?
I'm good. How are you?
Good to be back here.
So, Steve, you're back. Can you do a bit of a recap with us on products and services?
Yes, absolutely. I know we've focused on a lot of products over the past few weeks, and I just thought I'd do a recap on what we do in Ballito. We're a hydraulics and power products company. So we focus on anything to do with hydraulic components for trucking companies, for agriculture, and for the local civils companies. So be it pumps, oil motors on trucks, hose and fitting repairs for the local companies. In terms of the farmers, we support them with do-it-yourself hydraulic hose repair kits and tooling for their farms. We deal with breakdowns when they're busy pulling cane off the field, that kind of thing, and serve the local sugar industry. In the power product side, we are agents for the Briggs & Stratton brand of South Africa. We're distributors of Briggs & Stratton for the North Coast, Ballito.
Okay.
And under that umbrella of Briggs & Stratton products, we have brush cutters, lawn mowers, ride-on mowers, we have chainsaws, we have water pumps, engines, pressure washers. All of that sort of falls under the Briggs & Stratton brand, and we're very proud to represent them in this area. And then we focus a lot on power production, so generators.
Okay.
We do all generators from 1 kVA all the way up to 1,000 kVA. So you can have a
home ones as well.
That's it. So we do the small ones for your little office. We do one that can just cover for your office. We do inverter generators by Briggs & Stratton, so they're nice and quiet. You can use them in the estates just to keep the lights on and a few of the electronics ticking, which is fantastic.
Yes.
Most of our generators come with AVR, which is great for what AVR does is protects your electronics against power surges. So you can run your laptops and electronic equipment off an AVR generator. And then for your more industrial needs on the farms or for local business, we do your large-scale diesel generators, which are custom built locally, and we supply them locally as well.
So you mentioned that you guys source the products and bring the products to the people that need to buy it and
Yes.
things, which is awesome.
Yes.
Do you guys also do installation?
We do have a qualified mechanic based in the workshop, so a lot of the installation we can do. We don't do all installation. A lot of the clients prefer to strip off their components and bring them into the shop for repairs, for testing, etc.
Well, a lot of your clients will have their own
That's it.
artisans and fitters and stuff
That's
as
it.
well.
So most of them would prefer to drop it off, and then we do testing and we do a diagnosis and decide the way forward for whatever component they brought in. Something else that we do in terms of installation and repairs is all the products that I've listed, we do repairs for in our workshop. So
Okay.
for your discerning homeowner in Ballito, just your regular homeowner, no matter what machine he's got, whether it's a lawnmower, a generator, brush cutter, chainsaw, whatever the machine is that he's got at home that's faulty, he can bring to Hydrapower at Kailami Park for a strip, quote, and repair.
I love that. So you guys service us small people and then the big guys
Absolutely.
as well.
You know, I
That's
think
epic.
that's something that we don't want to neglect in any way. We do a lot of business with the local estates, and that's filtering through to the homeowners, knowing that we're available, and they can bring in any garden equipment, and we can do a complete strip, quote, and repair in the workshop for them. We got spares for all the local brands,
Yes.
and we can help them going forward.
Nice. It's very convenient.
Absolutely, yes.
And then in terms of the new financial year and landscaping,
Yes.
what are you guys up to?
So a lot of your landscapers would have waited until the new financial year when they budget to renew their fleet on their machinery side. And we just want them to know that we've got lovely options for them in terms of finance, lease to own. We've put some really good packages together going into the new year. On our Briggs & Stratton machines, we have the Briggs & Stratton range, we have the Titan Tech range of brush cutters, we have the Titan Tech range of chainsaws, which are fantastic quality for them. So they need to look at those options as brands to consider going into their new financial year on their tool replacement.
Nice.
Yes.
And then some of that finance options that
Yes,
you
so
offer?
absolutely. So we've got an in-house finance option where they can come to us for any package of goods exceeding 50,000 Rand ex VAT, and we can actually put together a custom package for them. So any registered business can come to us and say, right, I need 10 brush cutters, 2 blowers, 2 lawnmowers, 1 ride-on mower, whatever the package is, they can put their package of tooling together for that. They can do it with a generator. So if there's a company that's local that requires a generator, over 50,000 Rand, they can actually come and sit with us on a lease-to-own basis, and we can do in-house finance for them. It is, of course, based on finance approval and terms and conditions.
Of course.
But they have that option, and it's very easier. It's an easier way to consider doing it on the budget.
Payment plans and
Exactly,
things like that.
absolutely.
Yes, that's what we're
And the
talking.
interest rates are really competitive.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's an opening more doors for
That's
people.
it,
You know,
absolutely.
It's making it even easier.
Absolutely, yeah. So in a wrap, we're in Kyalami Park. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn. Although our website is still under construction, we're available on all the socials, and everybody seems to be on social media nowadays.
True.
And we're very active there. So one short scroll through any one of our pages will land you all you need to know about our company.
And it's Hydrapower, right?
It's Hydrapower,
Hydrapower.
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So there you have it. Payment terms, great options, great products and services. Give them a call. Check them out on social media. Thank you, Steve, for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
It was very interesting. I enjoyed it. Stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed that. Next up, we have Mike Mason from Sugar Rats Club.
Hi, I'm Steve Bezhuidenhout, owner, director of Hydrapower based in Ballito. We're a power products company that specializes in hydraulics, power products and power tools. We are distributors of quality brands such as HVD hydraulic components, Briggs & Stratton lawnmowers, brush cutters, generators and Metabo power tools. Our target market is the construction and civils industry, transport and freight, agriculture and mining industry. So whether you need a hydraulic pump for your tipper truck, a commercial ride-on mower for your estate, a power drill for your construction company, or just a domestic lawnmower for your home, we are a one-stop shop. We offer sales, consumables, repairs, and services on all these products. We're based at 8A Kyalami Park, Ballito, and also ship goods nationally. You can get in contact with us via various channels, namely WhatsApp, the landline, email, website, Facebook, Instagram or LinkedIn.
I'm Monet.
I'm Mandy,
I'm Devon.
and we are
Ballito TV.
We are a streaming channel showcasing content-rich programming that appeals to a wide audience.
Ballito TV officially launched on the 1st of February 2021 and has already attracted over 500,000 viewers worldwide.
Viewers are able to select their preferred device and way in which to watch Ballito TV, either live on our Facebook page, our website, YouTube channel, or by downloading our app free from the Play Store.
Best of all, if you've missed one of our shows, catch up at your own convenience by visiting our catch-up platform on our website and our app.
Ballito TV offers a variety of advertising from as little as 1,000 Rand. So the misconception that advertising through this medium is out of reach for most businesses is totally incorrect.
Get in touch today by emailing hello@ballito.tv or send your name and details to our WhatsApp line on 066 232 1385 and we will give you a call.
Welcome back to GMNC this morning, and with me in studio is Mike Mason from Sugar Rats Club. Don't you just love that name? Morning, Mike. How are you?
Morning. I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me again.
Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
So Sugar Rats, tell us a bit about Sugar Rats Club.
Okay, so a little recap on the Sugar Rats Club. We're a child-focused mountain bike club. We cater for kids from the ages of 4 up to 17, 18. Our only requirement is that your child is able to ride a bicycle without training wheels or fairy wheels.
Okay.
They're welcome to join.
Do you
come
provide
along.
the bikes?
No,
or-
we don't provide bikes. They need to arrive with a bike and a helmet
Okay.
and a big smile. And we take them out on the trails. We obviously send an adult out so the ride is guided.
Yes.
We also teach them some skills, which gives them confidence that they can take all the way through their lives. A lot of these obstacles can seem to be quite daunting at first and instill quite a bit of fear. And once the child conquers it, that's a fantastic learning experience and achievement for them.
Definitely, definitely. So that's cool. And you're building confidence and all these other skills, and perseverance, I'm sure.
Yes. And what is nice is we go out in a group. Normally we try and keep our groups to about 10 kids. So, you're not going out and doing it alone. I mean, there's a lot of children who are homeschooled who don't have the same interaction as the normal public and private school children have with other children. So, they get to ride in a group, make some friends, have a smile, socialize. So there's the social skills aspect of it too.
And kids learn best from kids, so
that's correct.
They encourage and support each other.
And we get them outside.
Exactly. I mean, nowadays that's what we want, right?
Yes.
As I've said before,
as I've said before, there needs to be a healthy balance. So there's no point in having a child that only knows about the outside and doesn't know how to operate a smartphone or a tablet, because that is just how technology is going. But there needs to be a healthy balance.
Definitely, I agree. So a bit now with the February heat, and I mean, it brings a bit of concerns, even me as a mom, when you send your kids out. What do you think about the riding and the heat?
Well, what we've done firstly is we changed our coaching times. So we don't coach from 3 o'clock anymore, we coach from 4 o'clock. So that also tends to be a little bit cooler.
Much cooler.
Unfortunately, February is just something that we need to persevere so that we don't have a winter full of frost.
I agree.
And riding in the frost is far worse than riding in the February heat. I can attest to that.
But I think the 4 o'clock switch is a big one anyway.
Yes, but there are other precautions. I mean, obviously, if it is far too hot to ride, the children's safety is always front of mind. Then we would cancel.
Definitely.
But we can adapt around it. So we've got quite a nice gum tree forest not too far away from where we start our ride, with quite a few nice obstacles and single track and whatever. So we'll get the kids into the forest in the shade. We make sure they got sunscreen. We make sure that they got water bottles with them that are full before we start the ride. We stop every couple of minutes or so, and we remind the kids to drink. Hydration is especially important with this. Not only during the ride, but then after the ride. And that's where the parents come in to make sure that after the ride their children continue to keep their water consumption up so that they don't feel the effects of dehydration.
Definitely. And then in terms of the ride, do they go in different age groups?
Yes. Not so much age groups as much as ability and skills. So your first coaching session is free. You can bring your child along. They can see whether they like it or not, instead of forking out a lot of money and then your child says, well, this is not for me. We have a massive success rate. I think as soon as they get on the bike and they see that it's not so daunting and that it's actually a lot of fun, we normally have parents sign up thereafter. So so we take them out, we assess them, and then we will put the child in the specific category. I mean, we cater for beginners, intermediates, and advanced. We've got a racing team as well, so that's for the proper racing snakes, for the kids that want to go out there and get podiums at all the local and national races.
Nice.
But what we also like to do is have our kids progress. So there is always a path as you get a bit fitter and a bit more confident on the obstacles at highlight trails. We move you up into the next group, and so you go.
So they see a bit of progression as well.
Yes, and I mean, most of our racing team started as 4-year-old kids just off training wheels, and progressed from that into winning SA champs, winning enduro events, which are highly technical events, winning marathon events. So there is definitely a progression through the club.
Sounds awesome. And in terms of events at the club, have you had anything recently? Are you planning anything?
We had the first provincial enduro series on Saturday, previous Saturday.
Right.
2 of our kids from our racing team won their age groups.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Troy Cole, he won the sub-juniors, and Christopher Mason, my son, so I can get to brag a bit, he won the Sprogs category, so that was a fantastic result. This Saturday, 12th of February, is the Wartburg Classic. It's the first time it's been held in 2 years with the COVID restrictions. Fantastic race, quite close to us, so it's an easy day trip.
Nice.
And the nicest thing about the Wartburg race is all the German ladies bake cakes, and German cakes are fantastic. So there's something to look forward to. Nice route. We've got our racing team entered in that. We also have encouraged the rest of our club to come along and participate.
Nice.
And then the weekend after that, the 20th of February, is the first KZN XCO. That's more for our racing snakes. It's a cross-country event. That's an all-out race for about 45 minutes.
Have to work our way up to that one.
That's right, yeah. And then the 27th of February is the Karkloof Classic, which is out just the other side of, it's just outside of Howick. So other side of Maritzburg, which is also a very nice race. The road races, like the Wartburg and the Karkloof Classic, they have distances from 10 kilometers to 65 kilometers. So, even our more beginner kids can come along, ride the 10K with mom and dad. There's trail run options for mom and dad too.
Nice.
So everybody can get involved.
So it's a family thing as well.
Yes, it is.
Sounds awesome. It really does. And for people that don't know where you guys are, would you like to just tell us where you are, how to get hold of you?
Sure. On social media, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram. The Sugar Rats Club on
It has
Instagram.
to be somewhere close to Sugar Rush, right?
Yeah. Sugar Rats on Facebook. Our website is www.sugarrats.co.za. And as you've rightly said, our physical location is right across from Sugar Rush Park. We operate from the Cane driving range right across the road.
Perfect. Sounds awesome. So all the best for the events coming up.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us again.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me, and I'm sure I'll be on soon to keep you updated how we did on the rest of the events.
Super. And I hope you guys go and find them. They sound like they have their rides in order. It sounds really good. It sounds fun, good fun for the family. And of course, if you're professional, there's a spot there for you too.
thank you to our guests, viewers and sponsors for joining us this morning. I hope you had a very interesting, fabulous morning with us. The vibe is always great and we love having you join us. Stay tuned, it's a very pretty song. It's by Blohm and it's called Ruby.
Ruby sit nader, trek dicht die gordijnen. Gooi mijn verlossing met je zakkie, medicijnen. Gooi jou hassel maar die kersen, trek door die kombersen. Die nacht het oud geword. En hier komt die zon. Ja, hier komt die zon. Ons gebed vereend tussen 4 muren. Ek en jy in 'n wêreld buite die deur. Ons saggies is jou asem van Japan en blare. Jy is my ondergrond. En hier kom die zon. En hier komt die zon. Symbolen en rood en die rook draai en krange. Hoor jy die stem, hoor jy die gesange. Ek voel jou hart en ek voel jou hart. Klop saam met my hart. En hier komt die zon. Ja, hier komt die zon. Gospel volgens Elvis en Johnny Walker. Bring die verlossing vir my. Want as die in my longe, vuur in my hare. Ek voel hy